Welcome back to the Entrepreneurs Rocket Fuel Web Summit. Your host is Kimberly Crowe. Kimberly is the founder of Entrepreneurs Rocket Fuel, as well as the co-host of Speakers Playhouse. She has another amazing guest coming right up. Take it away, Kimberly.
Oh, you folks are in for a really fun hour. I am super excited. I've never given this talk before. This is brand new. I know that there are a lot of people out there struggling to make their business thrive in 2025. I want y'all to remember back to January, like the beginning of the year. And you had all these great goals for, maybe personal development, maybe relationships, whatever, but you had a goal for your business. You had a goal like, this is the year, 2025 is a year that I'm going to bust through. I'm going to make this in revenue. I'm going to have this many clients. I'm going to launch this business. I'm going to grow like this. Put some of the goals that you had in the chat. You remember what they are. Don't be ashamed of them. They're going to be awesome, whatever they are. These are goals that you had at the beginning of 2025 for your best year ever in business. And whether it was, I'm going to make 6 figures, I'm going to bust through, I'm on my way to 7 figures, I'm going to launch a new program, I'm going to write a book. What was it that you decided at the beginning of the year that you were going to do? And this has to be very, very interactive because it's just me here. It's just me. I'm just talking. And unless you guys play with me, this is going to be it's going to be a very weird conversation because I'm just going to be talking to myself. So put in the chat, what did you decide at the beginning of the year, back at the beginning of the year, 2025, this is what I'm going to accomplish in business this year. Because if you had a goal at the beginning of the year, you are entitled to it. That is something that you set for yourself that you are ready to go and ready to go do. You deserve it. But now we're in September and a lot of you are like, ooh, we're getting to the end of the year and I'm not as close as I'd hoped I'd be. Not only that, we're coming up to the holidays. And so as you approach, September is this weird time where you're approaching the holidays and you're like, either I didn't get it, so I'm a failure, or maybe next year is my year. Maybe next year is the year that I get what I want. Maybe next year is the year that I hit the revenue goal. Maybe 2026 will be magic somehow. Maybe next year I will be able to bust through that revenue goal and get rid of those money blocks and have the number of clients that I wanted. Well, for those of you who don't know my background, my name is Kimberly Crowe. I'm an international inspirational public speaker, and I live a life that is designed around fun and joy. I travel full time. I do have a place in Fort Lauderdale, Florida with my daughter who lives in Fort Lauderdale, and I just have a space there. But other than that, I travel full time. So I'm spending a month in Spain. I did that last year. It was amazing. I actually really particularly like Spain because I can speak some of the language and I just love the people there and it's totally fantastic. I'm a digital nomad. I can speak from anywhere. I speak in the countries that I go to. I live a very positive, upbeat lifestyle and I love what I do. But I couldn't do it all if I wasn't generating revenue along the way, right? I need to be able to have a successful business that lifts me up, that supports the lifestyle that I want to have. And you all deserve that as well. You deserve to be able to have the lifestyle that you want. You didn't start this business only to help people. You started this business to help people. You started this business because you had a solution that other people needed, but you didn't do it only to help them. You also did it because you wanted freedom. You wanted a freedom of where you were financially. You wanted financial freedom. You wanted location freedom. I want to be able to work from anywhere. I want to be able to travel. I want to be able to go and do the things I want to do. I want to be able to participate in my family events without asking an employer for permission. I want to be able to have location freedom, and I want to have financial freedom, and I want to have time freedom. I want to be able to do what I want to do when I want to do it. So those are primarily the freedoms that you were after when you went into this business originally. You also, of course, ideally, you also wanted to help people. Living in a lifestyle that is supported by your business is a positive upbeat goal. And you deserve to have those goals that you set yourself for yourself at the beginning of the year. Around February, you were like, okay, yeah, I'm on my way. But as September comes, and we're in the middle of September, as September comes, people are like, oh, wow, I really thought I'd be further along by now. So I have great news for you. The title of this particular talk is called Workshops Are the New Sales Funnel, because a lot of us don't like the term sales. We don't want to sell stuff. We just want the revenue. We want clients. We want revenue. We want to be able to have that financial freedom, but we don't want to sell. And selling is where it's like, that makes it very difficult. If somebody tells you, just do a webinar every week on Fridays, it sounds easy. But when you get there and you're like, oh my gosh, I have to deliver a webinar and I have to sell stuff and I have to make a call to action, it's difficult. And we stop ourselves from even doing the webinar. But I have great news for you. Webinars don't work anymore anyway. I mean, they do, but they're not converting like they did in the past. They're not helping you be able to get to those revenue goals that you have for yourself. They're not helping you get to your dream life. Those webinars, they can be supplemental. They can be a way to do it, but webinars are not converting like they used to. So what's the other step? Social media, right? Let's just post on social media and tell people that I have a new program, that it's going to be great, that I really would love to do it, and it's going to be fantastic and wonderful. Those social media posts are valuable. In fact, you put posts out there and it gets scraped by AI and you start getting known for that particular thing. And posting on a regular basis is great, but it's not converting the way it used to. It's not turning into actual sales, actual revenue that's going to help you have the lifestyle that you deserve, that you wanted at the beginning of this year. Challenges or talks. Challenges are like, okay, I'm going to put together a challenge. And it sounds fun because challenges are fun, right? We all like a good challenge. Challenges are fun and they're great, but they take a lot to pull off. I've done 4 or 5 challenges in my career and they're complicated to pull together. You think, oh, it's just a little challenge. Oh, I'll just do this. Man, we've had to create videos. We had to create like landing pages. We had to create the why. We had to create a whole campaign. We had to email out, do a whole bunch of stuff. It was very, very hard to put on. We had 212 people actually enter the challenge, which I thought was amazing in my early days. And they entered the challenge and they started. And by the end, we had like 15 people that were actually completing the challenge. For a lot of work, having 15 people just complete the challenge and then not actually enter the program, just complete the challenge. And then from there, we worked on conversion and not all of them converted right away. Then we had to nurture them into sale. And yes, I made sales, but it was one of the hardest things that I had to do. One of the most fun things that I do, and you've seen me do it all the time, is talks, right? Talks like this. People are on this event and they're giving talks and they're giving great value and they're giving a freebie, right? You get to know them. You get to know their personality. You get to do it sort of a deep dive and get to know a little bit more about who they are and how they show up in the world. And if you like their personality and if you think you could work with them or not. And if you do, you grab their gift. And if you grab their gift and then later you're like, yeah, it's not really my style, you unsubscribe, and that's fine. And that's what talks do, right? They get to know you a little bit more. I love being able to give talks. I love being able to share with a new audience, somebody else's audience, about who I am and how I show up in the world. It's a very powerful way to get known before you're needed, Those talks are fantastic, but are talks converting the way they used to? Talks can convert. They can convert to your freebie. And a lot of people don't have you make an offer at the end to your program, product, or service because they don't want, like we don't allow that because we don't want it to be a pitch fest for our audience. We don't want one offer after another offer after another offer. And then people are like, my credit card's on fire right now. Like I don't need another offer. I just wanted to get to know you a little bit, right? So while talks can be valuable so that you can get known before you're needed. And I love talks. You'll never hear me bashing on it. My motto is if somebody hands me a mic, I'm going to say yes. Like that's the rule in our world. If somebody hands you a mic, you say yes. Get up to the mic early and often so that people can know you. Now, when I walk into an event, I'm going to an event next week in Orlando. It's not my event. When I walk into an event, people are going to be like, oh, you're Kimberly Crowe. I've seen you everywhere. And what's amazing about that is I became known before I was needed. Maybe they saw me on a podcast or somebody else's event, or maybe they were maybe I was in a real life in-person event and they saw me there, it's a great way to get known before you're needed, or people are talking about you in other rooms before you're even there. And getting known before you're needed is fantastic, but it's not converting the way it used to. People do a lot more deep dive before they actually convert. What is working now? What is working now is workshops. Workshops are different than webinars. A webinar where you go and somebody is flashing PowerPoints at you and they're talking at you and there's no interaction and it's just like, it's just one slide after another slide after another slide. Eventually you're like, man, I'll watch the replay. I don't think so. But workshops are different. Workshops are right around my word for the year in 2025, which is move. Get into action. In a workshop, you're not just learning and doing nothing. In a workshop, you're taking action. Now, if you can get your people to a workshop and have them take action and do something with you, they are more likely to take your offer at the end of your class. And this is what's converted really well. And you might be thinking to yourself, like, Kimberly, how many workshops could you possibly create in a year? And I'm going to tell you, I've literally created 50 workshops a year for the last 3 years. I've created 50 workshops a year for the last 3 years. How have I done that? Because we do the Speakers Playhouse Drop. Every week we give away a program, which is a workshop from one of my joint venture partners. And I co-create that with them. We advertise the workshop. You go in and you actually get work done. You do something, you take action. It is one-on-one. There's hot seats, there's interaction. You get to come on camera. It's not just like this where you learn and you're writing notes and that's great, but you get to interact. You get to raise your hand and you say, hey, this isn't working for me, or I'm stuck at this point, or I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do here. That interaction and that real personal attention is what gives people the connection they need in order to make a buying decision. So workshops are creating a new stream of revenue, clients, and opportunities for you to be able to close deals. Workshops are the new sales funnel, ladies and gentlemen. And the great news is you don't really even have to sell. It's not this sell, pitch, hardcore sales at the end of it. It's basically making an invitation for them to continue working with you above and beyond this workshop. Now, people may leave the workshop and they're like, that was powerful. I loved that. I did what I needed to do and I'm moving on and I don't need to buy your offer, which is fine. There will be some people who do that. But now that they've gotten results from you, where other people just taught at them and taught them the what, but not the how, they didn't go deep, they didn't give them details and how to be doing it, then those people are the ones that they're like, that was interesting and I kind of like them, but I'm going to keep looking. But when you workshop with them and you give them personal attention in a group setting without having to do a one-on-one, you are now connecting with them on a much deeper level. And it doesn't matter whether you have 1 or 20 or 50 or 100 people in that workshop, as long as you can give special attention to the people who raise their hand and ask questions, now you're interacting with them. Even the people who don't raise their questions, some of the people that do raise their questions are going to ask questions that other people have. And I know that you've been in those workshops where somebody raises their hand and they're like, I didn't understand point number 2. Can you explain that? And you're like, yeah, I didn't understand point number 2 either. Oh, I'm glad they asked that question. And I know that you've experienced that. And that's the experience that people have. They have that connection experience, which is super, super powerful. Are you guys with me so far? Are you excited? Are you like, I'm ready to build a workshop now? Like, this is the key. This is the new sales funnel. It's super powerful where you don't have to worry about doing sales because you're not selling, you're teaching, you're helping, and then you're moving them to an invitation. We want you to be able to create workshops and have this absolutely powerful transformation for yourself as well. So I promised you a 3-step formula to teach your way to a steady stream of coaching clients, and we're going to do it. Are you guys ready? It's going to be totally awesome. You set big goals for yourself in 2025. You promised yourself this would be your year, that revenue really took off. But now the holidays are creeping up and you're nowhere like you thought you were going to be. So the problem, I'm telling you right now, it's not you. It's the strategies that you've been using. That social media, you're in with a bunch of other people. It's just noisy out there. And you're like, if your post gets seen 2 days after you posted it, it's like a miracle, right? So you got to keep posting. It's just noisy out there. And people are being told, like, we got to stop scrolling, right? So they're trying to push themselves away from that right now. And webinars don't work. They don't convert like they used to because you're getting talked out. And I'm telling you, death by PowerPoint, it's a terrible way to die, right? Can I get an amen on a weekday here? Can I get an amen on a weekday that death by PowerPoint is a terrible way to die? Yes, thank you. You guys are awesome. All right, challenges take weeks to pay off, if they pay off at all, and they drain your time without bringing you clients or revenue or any of this. So today I am going to show you a 3-step formula that's working right now for me and my clients to attract coaching clients or your clients to sell your programs, products, and services with ease. And it's just fun. Like, I love a fun life. I love it if it's fun. And teaching a workshop, super fun. But by the end, you'll see exactly why workshops are the new sales funnel and how to use them before the holidays. Do you guys think you could pull off a workshop before the holidays? Put a hell yes in the chat box, because all of you can. Just one workshop before the holidays. It's just, I mean, my methodology is either one 90-minute workshop, a 3-hour workshop, or 2 90-minute workshops. All right? All right. If this year you're going to do a workshop and try to finally get to those numbers you wanted at the beginning of the year, put a heck yes in the chat box. Awesome. Are you guys with me? Is this too geeky for you guys? Is this too nerdy? Is this too much? All right, awesome. We're going to get into the deep stuff. All right, step number 1 of the 3-step process, connection. Connection. Put it in the chat box. Connection. Put I will connect in the chat box. Clients don't buy because you gave them fancy funnels. We're over that now. We're like, yeah, super fun, and scroll, scroll, scroll. Where's the buy button? How much is it, right? They buy because they feel connection with you. Like, people buy, like, when they see the drop, they're like, yes, I want the workshop. Where do I get the workshop? They're not even reading the details of it. They buy because they feel a connection. Workshops give you maybe 90 minutes of where people actually interact with you, not just passively scroll past your post or are like, I'll get the replay, right? They're interacting with you. Marketing is all about making sure that you have that connection. Connection beats just that noise of like, it's the best ever, and it's not just this, it's this. And AI can write us those marketing messages all day long. And I love AI. I think it's fantastic. But you can tell when somebody has put something together with AI and you're like, that's just marketing, that's just noise, right? But when they take time to spend with you and interact with you and answer your questions, now you've got a connection. All right. I have done tons of different opportunities where people can watch the replay and they're just like, yeah, that was great. I watched your replay. And you go back and they watch like 84 seconds of it. And that's it. Okay, that's fine. They like, and you don't have time for it either. Like, if you didn't have time to go to it the first place, breaking time into your calendar to actually watch those replays is difficult. I'm in a mastermind that I paid a lot of money for. It's with Brendan Burchard. I love his stuff. He's got tons of value. And there are 3-day events that we go to. And if you miss the 3-day event, you can have the replay of the 3-day event. So now you got to set aside 3 days in your calendar to watch the 3-day event. Now, if you watch it on double time, like I do, you watch it on double time. And of course they take the breaks out. And then you could get it like maybe in 3 evenings, 4 hours each. You could probably pull that off. But you got to carve time into your schedule to watch the replay at double, right? At double speed. You got to make sure that you do that. Okay, so connection is where it's at. You got to be able to be there as it happens, as it unfolds. And if you have a question and you raise your hand and people are like asking their questions, then you've really connected with them. All right. So, clients buy from you because they're connecting with you personally. Is that right? Put I know that in the chat box. If you know that clients have bought from you because they know you personally, put I know that in the chat box. Yes, you do. You know that. You know for sure that the people who bought from you are like, I knew you personally and I knew you were my person. Now, not everybody likes me. I know. Shocker. Not everybody likes me and not everybody likes you too. And that's okay. I actually got a really sweet email from a guy one time, a young man. And right after Speakers Playhouse, he came back and he's like, Miss Kimberly, you just talk way too fast. You need to slow down so we can like understand you and process. And I was like, that's very sweet. And I sent it to my partner, Jenny, and she goes, don't you dare slow down. Like that would screw everything up. Like there are people who love us because we talk fast and we move quickly. And not everybody is my person. And that's okay. You are going to find the people that you identify with and the people that identify with you that connect with you personally and know you personally and are like, I like her. I like him. That's why they buy, because they know you personally. All right. So step number 1 is connection. Connection is a huge part of your marketing funnel when you do a sales through a marketing funnel known as a workshop, because you're connecting with them. I mean, even now we're connecting a little bit through the chat, but if we're in a workshop and you raise your hand and you ask a question and I can see your face and we can interact, much different. By the way, yeah, I'm going to see my offer and tell you, I have something for you. It's going to be amazing, but we're not there yet. It's going to be a workshop and it's going to be amazing. So I hope you guys stay with me to the end because the deal is spectacular. Most of you are like, yeah, I could do a workshop, but how am I going to get it filled? How am I going to fill those seats? How am I going to make that happen? Well, stick with me because I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. All right. So step number 2 is novelty. Write it in the chat box, novelty. Our brains seek novelty. Our brains want novelty, new stuff. Feed me new stuff. That is why you guys are all here. I need new stuff. I need new ways to look at entrepreneurship. I need new ways to build relationship. I need a new mindset. I need new stuff because we want to try new stuff all the time. Our brains need novelty. So with your workshop, you're going to create novelty. Connection gets them listening, but novelty is what gets them there. This is where you introduce a unique solution, your secret sauce. You guys have secret sauce, right? Secret sauce in the chat box. If you know you already have some sort of secret sauce that you can teach. It's not just giving them the same old, they've heard 100 times. It is you showing them a fresh approach that has your secret sauce in it. Only one person has secret sauce? Miko, I'm glad you have secret sauce. That's awesome. If you have secret sauce, put secret sauce in the chat. Do you know what that is? Like the secret sauce? I think it was Burger King who first came up with the secret sauce. Secret sauce is great. Secret sauce is like, I want the thing that they have. And so they come to you for that. It's showing them a fresh, novel approach. Our brains seek novelty. It's just a physiological thing. Our brains are always looking for something new. So if you sound like everybody else, people will tune out, but novelty is what makes them lean in and think, wow, I haven't heard it that way before. I haven't heard it explained like that before. I didn't see that picture before. I didn't see it like that before. In my world, workshops are the new sales funnel is my novelty, right? You guys are getting that, right? Workshops are the new sales funnel. And that's a new approach. It's a new concept that other people haven't heard before. It's kind of cool, right? I kind of like it. It's a novel way to look at this. So this is totally awesome. I think if you have something new, if you have secret sauce, that could be just explaining them what it is your novelty. But even better, I would love for you to be able to put it in a framework, all right? A novel framework, a picture of how it's done, all right? People want a system that they can follow. They want a system they can follow. And if you have it in a picture that they can see, then you will be able to. I love that you guys said genius. I love it. I love that. So if they can have a picture of how you do it or your formula, your secret formula. So if you have a the 3 parts of your secret formula or something like that, that's really, really powerful. I do, by the way, have a secret formula. And let me see if I can find my download. Here it is. I'll put it in the chat. You're going to see the third thing. So the second thing is novelty. The first thing is connection. Here's the third thing. If you guys click on that, open it up and put in the chat what the last thing is. When you look at this image, you might be like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. I never thought of it that way before. That's a reaction that you're hoping to be able to get from people. You want to be able to have them think, that was a novel idea. That's a cool thing. I've not thought of it that way before. I've never heard it explained that way before. That is really awesome. I love it. Did anybody get a chance to open it? Put it in the chat box what the third thing is. Do you guys know? I don't know if you guys are opening it. I don't know if you can see it. Do you have trouble opening it? Oh, it wouldn't open for you? Okay, well, then I'll have to share it on the screen. Here, I'll download it, and then I'll go to downloads, and then I'll open it. Oh man, it's not sharing. I do have a picture of it though. It's super fun. Okay, well, I don't know. I'll have to share it on the screen and make sure that you guys get a chance to see it. The third step is challenge. The third step is challenge. A challenge is super powerful way to be able to connect with your folks. Challenge is absolutely powerful because challenge is taking them to the next level. If you are in an event with me, with Brandon Burchard, he will talk about how challenge is really what we are paid to do. We are paid to push. We are paid to get people to the next level, to get them beyond where they were before. This is my formula, and being able to put it in picture form, people are like, oh, now I get it. My brain can hang on to that. We have different kinds of learners that are out there. And if you can give them an image that they can follow, that they can see, so they can be like, that's awesome. I totally love that. That's something that I can really get behind. Then they can see it. And once they can see it, they can know it. And once they can know it, then they want it. Once they can see it, then they can know it. Once they can know it, then they can want it. So workshops are the new sales funnel. You got to have connection, you got to have novelty, and at the end, you've got to have a challenge. So what is your challenge? What are you challenging them to do? This one's easy. What are you challenging them to do? Anybody have an idea what you're challenging them to do? Put it in the chat box. Take action. The CTA. Make changes. Yes, all of those things, right? If you're just giving a talk, if you're giving a TEDx talk, you can't pitch them to your program, product, or service at all. That's not what we're talking about in a workshop. But every talk that you give, even a TEDx talk, needs to have a call to action. That call to action is do something differently. Take this action. Go do this next. What are my marching orders to do next? All right. I once gave a talk on lima beans. It was an impromptu talk. You have to give an impromptu talk. The topic was lima beans. They're like, we need a 5-minute talk on lima beans. I had 2 minutes to come up with a 5-minute talk. Came up with a 5-minute talk. My call to action at the end of my lima bean talk was, maybe next time you'll think about lima beans a little differently. All right. That was my call to action. At the end of your talk, you need to have something for people to do that's different than they did before. All right. So your call to action is awesome. From the end of every talk, you need to have a call to action. I don't care where you're speaking. You need to have natural next steps for people to take. But your challenge during a workshop is to take action, to do the next thing with you, to be serious about what they're doing, not just learn and get this, like learn and do nothing. Your challenge is, there are levels to this game, guys. And if you're ready, I bet you could take the step and move forward with me. Workshops work because people don't just learn. They do. They learn and they do. They get into action. Of course, my motto at Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, their motto, that's my alma mater, their motto is learn by doing. Learn by doing. If you want to learn how to milk a cow, don't read about it in a book. Go milk a cow. When you actually milk the cow, you will learn how to milk a cow. That's how you learn about it. Now, you can explain to a person, has anybody here ever literally milked a cow? I have. And I don't think I could explain it to somebody in a book. Like, explaining that to somebody in a book would be difficult, right? It's not like 3 sentences. It would be like complicated for me to explain it. Now, I'm not an aficionado of it, but I learned how to milk a cow, and I can now because I've done it. Doing is what creates actual trust in themselves and in you as a teacher. When they actually do it, they create trust with you. They believe you because they did it. If they don't do it, then they're like, that's a good idea. Maybe it would work for me, and maybe it wouldn't. But if you actually do it with them, if they do it and take action, now they've created trust with you. They believe it because they've done it. So what you're going to do in your workshop is give them a simple challenge. You're going to have them do something and take action. So I would love for you guys all to brainstorm one small action you could help people do in a workshop. What's one thing that they could do in a workshop and put it in the chat. Let us know. All right. Put it in the chat. What are you going to, if you created a workshop, what's one action people would actually do when they went through your workshop? All right. Definitely put it in the chat box. Jennifer, thank you for answering so quickly. Learn to identify and clear trapped emotions. They absolutely could. Jennifer is giving a workshop on Friday. At that workshop, she's going to teach them how to learn to identify and clear their own trapped emotions. She put that as a freebie in the chat. She can put it again. Jennifer, if you have the link to that, you are welcome to put that in the chat again. If you haven't already signed up for that, you should definitely do that. It's a great example of a workshop where people are actually going to do and have the process done, right? Catherine says, do the speak with your body process. Yes, don't just learn about it, do it, take action, make the thing happen, right? Go through the speak with your body process and see what happens when you actually do that. Deb says an audit and an assessment. So they're actually going to go through an audit and an assessment to see where they are on a scale of 1 to 10, or where they are in their speaking journey, or where they are. Deb, I don't know what you do, so you got to be a little more specific about that if you want to put it in the chat again. Tasha is money management. They'll learn techniques to manage money. Maybe they'll look at their own money that they're spending, and maybe they'll pull up their own financials, and maybe they'll look at it and be like, this is how much I have in my checking account. This is how much I have in my business account. This is how much I've got in revenue, and actually figure that out. I love that, Tasha. Kenneth says change one way they communicate with others. Yeah, so that they actually do it. Maybe you put them into breakout rooms during your workshop and say, I want you to use this technique for communicating with others. Going forward, I want you to try this out. See how it works to implement this particular technique of communicating with others. And instead of saying this, try saying this. I once ran across a really cool thing that said, stop saying you're sorry. And I'm all about apologizing when you've done something wrong. I think an apology and a heartfelt, sincere apology and a desire to do better is fabulous. But when we say sorry repeatedly, we're actually diminishing ourselves. So I was just in a coffee shop 3 days ago in Better Buzz Coffee. That's not an advertisement for them, but I think that's a really cool name. I was in there, and the lady was waiting on somebody in front of me, and then that person got helped and moved out of the way. And she said, excuse me a moment. And then she went to do something, and she came back and she said, thank you for waiting. And I said, I love the way that you said, thank you for waiting, because if you said, I'm sorry you had to wait, that's all about you. But when you say, thank you for waiting, you're acknowledging that they did something right. You're not diminishing yourself, and you're actually giving them credit while acknowledging that there was a space there. So instead of saying, I'm sorry, saying, thank you would be something that you could teach if you were teaching about communicating with others, Kenneth. And then instead of saying, I'm sorry, I was late, saying, thank you for waiting, or instead of saying, I'm sorry that didn't come through, thank you for understanding that sometimes there's a tech glitch, or just saying thank you for your kindness, for waiting, and being acknowledging of that. When you do that, you actually have them experience that in a breakout room. All right, now you're going to accuse them of doing something wrong. And then when you respond to that, instead of saying, oh, I'm sorry, I screwed that up, say thank you instead, right? So Kenneth could do a workshop where he actually did that with others. Gary says, realize life-changing options not previously known. And while realization is great, doing something, taking action with that is awesome. So once they realize life-changing options not previously known, have them do something. All right, let's say, for example, a life-changing option not previously known is that you could take control of your own finances, That might be a life-changing option. I don't know what your life-changing options are, but I'm just going to use that as an example. So what you might do is say, put a calendar item on your calendar next week to look at your finances. And when that calendar item comes up, you're going to look at your bank statements. You're going to look at your credit card statements. You're going to look at a budget if you have one. You're going to create a budget if you don't have one. And you're going to spend 1 hour making that life-changing option available to you, that you can then be in control of your own finances. Even if you're not the one in the family that manages the money, this is something that could change your life, that you could now take control over that. So you actually have them do something, even if it's as small as put this on your calendar. We don't want them just to realize something, because that's just learning. We want them to do something. We want them to take action. We want them to get into movement, move forward, to actually get into launching into the next level. Deb says, discover their number one signature strength in their business and how they are using it. Discovering is learning. I love that, Deb. We definitely want to discover it, but what do we want to do with it? So now that I've given some examples, throw some more in the chat. There's 36 of you. I would love to hear from you. What are you going to have people do during the event, during the workshop? So if you are doing one on manifestation and you're like, I'm going to teach you how to manifest. I'm going to teach you about law of attraction. I'm going to teach you about words of affirmation. I'm going to give you some affirmations that you can use and blah, blah, blah. During the workshop, have them create a vision board. Like tell them to bring magazine article or magazines and and a poster board, and that you're going to create during the event, that during the workshop, they're going to get into action. So at the end, they have this board that they can see and touch and feel, and they know that they did something, right? That actually takes them into action. So Jennifer says, practice using muscle testing and identifying their own emotional blocks. Yeah. Practice it. And if they have trouble with it, muscle testing is an example from Jennifer. She teaches like you can use this as muscle testing. My name is Kimberly. My name is Jennifer. It's just, it's one of those things where you can do it on your own and you can test, validate the true statement or not, if something is true or if it's not true. So muscle testing. And you can give them an example of how to do that and have them actually do it during the event, not just teach, but have them do and practice. All right. Carol, thank you guys for putting notes in the chat. I'm going to workshop these with you right now. Kathleen says, breathing and simple energizing movements. Yes, instead of just teaching what they are, somatic breathing is this. A box breathing is this. You breathe in 3, you hold for 3, you breathe out for 3, and then you hold empty for 3, and then you breathe in for 3, that kind of thing. That's box breathing, and it doesn't have to be 3. It can be 7 or 5 or whatever numbers you like. Box breathing is a technique, but don't just tell them what it is. Have them do it. Right? Okay, right now we're all going to box breathe. We're going to go in, we're going to breathe in for 3, hold for 3, out for 3, and then hold empty for 3. Here we go. Ready? Inhale for 3, hold for 3, out for 3, and hold for 3. Now you've actually had them implement with you. Do it. Have them take action. When they take action and they're actually doing it with you, huge difference in engagement. All right. Then Carol Donaldson says, during the workshop, I help them create a decision-making process that tells them what's worth their time and what isn't. Awesome. At the end, do they have the decision-making process? Have they done it? Have they made some decisions? So if I have a decision-making process, I'm like, okay, that's great. I'll use that later. But then you're like, no, use it now. What's one tough decision you got to make? I have to make a decision on whether or not I'm going to the gym this afternoon. Okay. Step number 1 of our decision-making process. Let's do that now. Are you going to the gym or not? Like, let's do the thing that they want to do and have them not only learn about it, but take action. Are you guys with me? Like, how much of a difference is it if a coach tells you to do something or has you do something? Huge difference, right? Huge difference. If I'm in an event and somebody's teaching, a process and they just throw it up on a slide screen and you're like, that's great. And everybody's taking pictures of it, with their phone or whatever. And then they don't do anything. It doesn't land. But when they actually do something, now they're involved, especially if you can get an actual technique. Have any of you ever been to a dance class, and you could watch dance, you could watch yoga. Actually, yoga is a great example of this. If you've ever been to a yoga class, Bikram yoga, for example, is the same every time you go. It's literally the same words every time you go. You go because you're actually going to do if you go. You can watch it on television today. You could watch, I think they have Bikram yoga, or they have many different yogas on television today. You could watch it and you can do it at home, but you don't, because the interactive experience of somebody watching you and making a correction, no, put your arm a little further back, or put your foot a little further back, or it's turned out and it should be turned in. Those kind of in-person corrections in the doing are what makes a difference in the connection. That's why we go to the class instead of just watching it on TV, because we want to get into the doing. All right. So Carol, if you have that, make sure not only they learn the process of telling them what's worth their time and what isn't, but Is it worth it to your time to go to the gym or not? Let's go through the decision-making process. Let's do it. All right, get into the doing. Hale says, grab a glass of water and drink it together one by one, saying the intention we put into ourselves. Ooh, I like that one. All right, putting some intention. I'm going to get into move. Here's my water. I'm going to get into move. I'm going to get into move. I love that. That was a good one. And Elise, I think is how you pronounce that. I love your name, by the way. I just don't always get it right when I look at it, so I apologize in advance. Do exercises. I like that. That's a doing that help reset the vagus nerve and help release stress. Become aware of before and after sensations in the body. This is perfectly written for what I was looking for. Not only is she going to have them do the exercise, but she's going to experience like what was the difference so that we know why we did the exercise, right? And that we can get into action to move again because we see the result we got from it. And the result is what it's all about because you want them to get a result. That vision board was a result. The decision whether or not to go to the actual gym was a result, all right? Making sure that you actually get them a result is powerful. All right, Hale has another one. Take 5 minutes right now to write a short letter to your 80-year-old self. Imagine you lived with intention, energy, and vitality. What did you do today that helped you become that version of you? I love it. For those of you who know, some of you may know this, on the day after Thanksgiving every year, the day after Thanksgiving. So we have Thanksgiving, we give thanks, we eat a lot of food, spend time with family or not, avoiding family, have Friendsgiving, whatever we do. The day after Thanksgiving, for me, is not about anything other than my letter to my future self. I write a letter every year on that day. And when I write the letter, I actually put it on the calendar on the next year, the day after Thanksgiving. So I read a letter to my future self from last year, and then I write a letter to my future self for next year. And when you see, like, if you're anything like me and you're like, wow, I never celebrate my wins. This is a great way to celebrate wins because my letter to my future self sounds like, hey, sweetheart, you did an amazing job this year. I'm sure you did. Last year, here's where you were. You had this situation going on with friends and family. You had this situation going on with work. You had this situation going on with your personal health. You had stuff that you were trying to accomplish. You did accomplish this last year, and you were really proud of yourself for accomplishing that. And then next year, you're looking forward to doing this, and you hope to do these other things, right? So you tell where you are, what you accomplished over the last year, and what you're going for in the next year. Then when you read it and you're like, oh my gosh, I did 70% of that already. That was amazing. Like I had an amazing year. I actually did those things. Or like I didn't do those things. And that reminds me that I want to do it. So I put it in my letter to my future self for next year. So I love that. That's a really, really cool thing. And being able to do that has been really powerful. In fact, I wanted to do a workshop on that specific thing. And then I was like, well, the workshop would basically be me teaching that 10 sentences and then having you guys do it. And I would be spending time with you guys on the day after Thanksgiving instead of myself in soul reflection. So I don't think I'm going to do that, but it's a cool idea. Put it down on Thanksgiving. Just put like, I'm going to write a letter to my future self. And then next Thanksgiving, it works really good next year because you read it and you're like, oh my God, I did so much more than I thought I was going to do. It's really, really great. Okay, so those are getting people into action. And that's really what you're trying to do. You're trying to get them to do something. So I have a question for you. How many of you did something and took action by typing something in the chat or writing to yourself in your journal during this 45-minute talk? Put I did in the chat box if you did. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just 4 of you? 5, 6. Any more? I think I got you all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Awesome. So 7 of you actually took action. There's 35 people on this call. 7 of you took action. Those people are engaged and powerfully following along with what we're doing. Now, some of you may have taken action on the side. Maybe you just wrote in your notebook. Maybe you just put a little note and were like, I'm not playing in the chat today. Maybe you just didn't feel up to it, but you took some level of action during this talk. You're engaged. You're with me. Some of you are listening passively. Nothing wrong with that. You're learning maybe. You're taking away some knowledge. You're taking away an opinion of me, whether you like me or don't like me or somewhere in between. And all of that is fine. I'm getting known before I'm needed. I'm getting some exposure and I'm getting to know you a little bit more. But maybe some of you are like, it's just not my thing. I just didn't want to get into action. I don't want to do a workshop. No big deal. Totally fine. But the people who went into action, you're taking action. You're engaged. You're making things happen in your life. So I have an offer for you. I have an invitation that I would like you to come to an event with me. I'm going to teach a deep dive on a workshop creation lab. We're going to get into action. We're going to roll up our sleeves on October the 6th and actually build out your full workshop. The title, the structure, the date before the holidays, and your fill plan. How are you going to fill it? I'm going to give you specific ways to fill it. I'm going to give you examples of things you can do to help you fill your workshop, and you'll be walking out ready to run it before the holidays. I'm going to give everybody here a free ticket to be able to go to this lab. This is a $597 value. You'll get the full lab plus any worksheets or anything that I drop in the chat. If you would like to upgrade, you will get the replay and you will get hot seat coaching by me. The VIP upgrade, it's free for everybody to attend. If you just want to attend, it's totally fine. But here's my promise to you. If you come and you show up, and if you finish your workshop in the lab and schedule it on the calendar, I will promote your workshop to my list so you can fill it with clients. You're not just going to leave with notes. I want you to come build your workshop with me. I have a goal of I want to say I created 20 workshops before the holidays with this workshop class. I want to be able to brag on you that we're doing it. The ticket is free. You just enter your name and email address. The ticket is free. But if you want to come and really build it out, I would love to share your workshop that you created with my audience. I think that's fair. I hope that's fair. We're going to go ahead and put a link in the chat. The link is, I don't know if that works. Oh, yeah, it does. Yep, that's the link. So grab Workshop Creation Lab. It's happening on October the 6th. If you would like to upgrade to VIP, you will get the VIP not for $597, but for $197. If you'd like to grab VIP, you can grab it for $197 for me to promote you to my list. Now, I will tell you that when I do promotions and I do paid promotions for people, I charge $4,000 for that. I charge $4,000. It's $190. Yeah, I saw the 97 in the chat. The VIP upgrade is $197, not $597. So I just want to be sure you guys see that. The date and time is October the 6th. Is it not on there? The date and time is it's not on there. I apologize. The date and time is, and when you get your confirmation, you'll be able to see the date and time in the confirmation. But definitely grab the VIP. The Workshop Creation Lab is a long day with you. It is from 9:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. on October the 6th. You're going to create it during the workshop if you want to. I mean, you don't have to move. You don't have to get into action. You don't have to get clients before the holidays. You can say maybe 2026 will be my year. It's totally fine if you want to do that. But if you're ready to get into action, if you're ready to create a workshop and you would like to have me play with you, I will not only help you create the workshop, but if you go VIP, you're going to get a chance to get it promoted by me. You have to create your workshop during the lab. That's the secret. You'll get full, whether you create it during the lab or not, you will get full access to the Workshop Creation Lab, which is everything the free ticket holders get. You will build out your workshop with my step-by-step framework. You'll leave with a ready-to-sell title, a promise, because we don't buy things just because they're going to help us get better. We buy things because they give us a result. And you will schedule your workshop and start selling before the holidays. That's what you get on the free ticket. In the VIP upgrade, you'll get full access to the workshop, everything in the free ticket, plus first priority hands-on guidance to map out your entire workshop in real time. You'll get into action. You guys are going to be able to raise your hands, and I'm going to hot seat you for personalized tweaks and feedback. And you will get a replay recording of the event. So after the event, after you've scheduled it and you're like, oh my God, what did I do? Did I really say I was going to do it on that day? Is it really going to happen? You can go back and watch the replay and make sure that you get all of those things. And this is an exclusive bonus for those that complete and schedule their workshop in the lab. I will promote your new workshop to your list. Now, you don't have to have all the things that you're going to do. You have to have a way for people to be able to buy your workshop with a date. All right. So if you have created it during the lab and you're like, I've got it, this is what I'm going to do. You're going to promote it, and then I will promote it to my list as well. All right. You're going to promote it, but I'm going to promote it to my list as well. Is that fair? Is that fair and fun? Can you put it in the chat box if you think that's both fair and fun? Awesome. The workshop is free. Don't check the box. If you don't want the VIP, don't check the box. Don't check the box that says $197. If you want it free, don't check the box. All right? You'll get it for free. I did say free. The workshop is free. The VIP, where I promote you to my list, which is more than a $4,000 value, is $197. Okay. You guys are awesome. Hele, if you have a question, you can put it in the chat. I can't bring you up during these sessions, but if you have a question, you can put it in the chat. You guys are fantastic. This has been super fun. We have to move to our next speaker. Our next speaker is Ira Glesser. Ira is going to teach you about driving more value into your customer relationships, which will be amazing for the workshop. All right. So definitely we want to drive value. Okay. Hele says, can I have my 90-day coaching program with this? You mean sell your 90-day coaching program from this? Yeah. Yes. Let's do that. Let's sell some stuff. During your workshop, you're going to sell stuff. You're going to sell your workshop, and then you're going to sell some stuff from your workshop. You're going to not only sell your workshop, you're going to sell stuff from your workshop. You don't have to sell your workshop. You can give your workshop away for free if you want, but you're going to sell your workshop. My list is huge. My list is 50,000. So if you would like to get in on this, I will be promoting your workshops to my list. Would love to have you be a part of it if you would like to do that. If not, if you just want to come for free, come for free. It's totally fine. I will tell you that this will not be $197 during the day of the workshop. For those of you who want to get this, this is for the people who are here on the Web Summit. All right, that price is going up. It's $597. We should be charging $4,000 for this. We're not. So we want to make sure that you guys get a chance to be able to get in on the ground floor on this. Okay. We want to make sure that you play with us and that you're here. Okay. So we're making this as accessible as humanly possible for you guys to get in on this. Again, if you don't want the VIP, no problem. Come for free. When you get there, if you change your mind, it will not be $197. I tell you that. I'm going to tell you that right now. It will not. Okay. So if you'd like to play with me, I invite you to come play with me either for free or for the VIP upgrade. For the VIPs, I love you. Thank you for trusting me. We're going to take great care of you, and let's get you some profit by the end of the year. Let's get you some money. Let's get you some clients. Let's get you some stuff by the end of the year. And let's launch 20 brand new workshops before the holidays, because that's what I'm all about. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been super fun for me. I hope it's been super fun for you as well. If it has not, I'm sorry. Come back for the next one. They'll be way better than me. I hope you guys had a lot of fun today. If you got value and you're in, please put I got value or I'm in. That would be totally awesome. Let's make that happen. I think you all are amazing. You deserve to be able to make money from what you offer. You deserve it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you back for Ira Glesser at the top of the hour. I'm Kimberly Crowe. Cheers.
Thank you for joining us for another amazing session of the Entrepreneurs Rocket Fuel Summit. For recordings of all sessions, plus an amazing VIP gift bundle, upgrade to VIP now. If you have any questions or problems during the summit, email our support team at support@erfsummit.com. Stay tuned. We have another fantastic speaker coming right up.